Hello everybody and welcome to techMAX, the show that puts the daily goings-on in science and technology under the microscope. I'm your host, Chi. Let's start today's show with the headlines. On this edition of techMAX, the Swiss have the best of both worlds on display at their national pavilion. Also, we traverse uncharted waters to have a look at the important technologies helping run our ships. And the average techie is multitasking with gadgets, all on today's techMAX. Switzerland is the very picture of tranquility, rollicking hills, majestic mountaintops, and people who know beauty when they see it. So it's highly fitting that for the Shanghai 2010 World Expo, their national pavilion is emphasizing the link between urban and rural living, because bettering one's life means knowing how to better the life of others. His nest of crazy white hair notwithstanding, Albert Einstein, born in 1879, is best known for his theory of relativity. The physicist's nationality is much debated, but for 55 years in the 20th century, he held Swiss nationality. In fact, Swiss people love Einstein so much that they crowned him the most important Swiss in history. Of course, besides Einstein, Swiss watches, army knives, chocolates, and beautiful mountains, Switzerland also has numerous other treasures worth knowing. Named Nature's Playground, the Swiss pavilion is inspired by the concept of balance and is relevant to the sub-theme of the Expo, Rural-Urban Interaction.
We choose urban-rural interaction because this is a very important topic in Switzerland, and we feel also for China. Switzerland also is very densely populated, just as China is, and it's very important to be able to communicate easily between urban and rural space, and it's called Playground because we hope the pavilion will be something playful, joyful to visit.
The National Pavilion of Einstein's hometown is a hybrid image of nature and technology. The Swiss pavilion introduced a semi-transparent facade made of aluminum netting fitted with 11,000 intelligent solar cells that envelops the pavilion.
What is special is that it is interactive. There will be a lot of 11,000 sparkling lights, and they can be initiated by the flashlights of the visitors, and they're initiated by the energy of the sun, which is available around the pavilion. There is actually electronic components put on a bioresin plate. They will absorb the energy, and at a specific time they will give it back in form of a blinking light. And the cells, they will also be interacting with each other. So if cell A is blinking, cell B will also be blinking, and that will give very, very nice patterns around the whole facade. I'm very proud to say that actually these cells, the way they will be used in Shanghai, they are developed for the World Expo in Shanghai. It will be a premiere.
To further promote the stunning beauty of Switzerland's landscape, the pavilion also introduces two very special high-tech devices.
The first message that we want to convey is that we contribute to the topic chosen by the Expo, Better City, Better Life. We will be talking about the air and water quality, about mobility, and about the sustainable construction. When the visitors climb up the ramps, we have installed a total of 60 binoculars, very old-fashioned way of presenting things. The visitors will actually find 3D images, which will give some key statements about the problems of today and the solutions that Switzerland has found. One binocular, basically within 5 seconds, you should be able to grab what we want to say. We have installed a screen 16 meters long, 10 meters high, where we will show a 7-minute loop out of the IMAX film The Alps. This movie will actually be shown in the IMAX theater in Shanghai during the Expo. What we will be showing, our focus is on the natural beauty of Switzerland. And the second message is quite different. We are saying The mountains are beautiful, but we have climate change. Glaciers are melting, we have more and more avalanches, and people are constantly trying to live with nature, to protect themselves from nature, and to protect nature from the human beings.
Another highlight of the Swiss Pavilion is the expansive roof, covered with plants and a chairlift that links the two areas together.
The chairlift is the rewarding end of the journey. The visitors will all be greeted at the entrance of the Swiss Pavilion, will be climbing up a ramp, then enter the big exhibition hall, coming out of the exhibition hall, climbing down the ramp, and then enter the chairlift. And then they will be moving up in a cylinder, and they will be confronted with the people moving down. So they can wave at each other and say, how was it up there? And then they come out of the cylinder, they will have a view onto the Pussy side of Shanghai and onto the other pavilions in the expo site.
With its distinct style and concept, the Swiss Pavilion offers visitors an inspiring experience. Innovation is fully realized to include human empathy, demonstrating that a better city, better life is a theme that touches us all. On October 23rd, the 41st Tokyo Motor Show 2009 opened its doors. More than 109 car and motorcycle manufacturers and auto parts makers participated in the show, and 39 cars and motorcycles made their world premieres. Under the theme Fun Driving for Us, Eco Driving for Earth, the show expressed the idea of balancing enjoyment with environmental consciousness. With foreign automakers largely no-shows for the first time in decades, Japan's top 5 manufacturers dominated the event. The show allowed visitors to experience for themselves the latest models, including next-generation vehicles. The launch of the redesigned Mark X furthers the series' sporty and luxurious concept. Mitsubishi's innovative electric vehicle iMEV cabin also attracted many visitors. It promises to maximize the outstanding environmental performance and economic efficiency characteristics. Long awaited by Alpina fans in Japan, the B3 Biturbo didn't disappoint. The allure of it is found in its V8-like performance, coupled with the advantages of a much lighter and noticeably thriftier 3.0-liter straight six. The Toyota Prius plug-in hybrid concept also made a splashy entrance. The plug-in hybrid concept is the first brand to use a lithium-ion battery as the drive battery. If you're cautiously considering the size of your bank account and the state of the planet, two-wheeled vehicles might be your best bet. Yamaha's latest model of its POS range was an attraction for the visitors. The company also exhibited conceptual electric commuters, ECF and ECFS, with futuristic designs aiming to appeal to a wide range of age groups.
まず一つは動力とか燃料のいろんな問題がありますけれども、広がりというものではすごく長いスパンで見れば広がりっていうものはあるとは考えられます。
Honda showcased an electric bike called Eve Neo. The 41st Tokyo Motor Show runs until November 4th. Through its various special programs, it seeks to create as many new automobile and motorcycle enthusiasts as possible. Multimedia means having to multitask, and the average techie has more than enough devices to juggle at a time. Coming up on techMAX. With all the choices available to us today, it's no wonder that we're suffering from a collective case of sensory overload. When it comes to gadgets, though, the more the merrier. We want more options, because more options equals more ways to see the world, which means better quality of life. So without further ado, today's average techie takes a look at some devices that stress quantity and quality. Check the time, get your daily weather report, and brush up on the latest eats, all at once. Why choose one of your favorite TV shows to watch when you can have all three? Designed especially for the extra busy family with extra busy imaginations, the active lifestyle television tends to the needs of 3 screen-needing family members. Or, if you're feeling focused for a change, you can fold the flexible LCD screens to one giant flat one in the middle. I mean, think about the possibilities. A program guide, your own daily schedule, and enough room for one more. Football, basketball, hockey, Olympic Sport 1, Olympic Sport 2, Olympic Sport 3, ICS, ICS, ICS. Happiness comes in threes, so why should TV be any different? We've heard it all before. Ebooks can't replace the printed word. There's an indescribable joy of flipping pages, blah, blah, blah. Sure, there are a lot of reasons why those of us who read voraciously aren't giving up on our books anytime soon. But don't let that deter you from checking out the Bibliophile electronic book reader. It's a nifty reader that uses page-turning gestures to generate the power necessary to update an e-paper display. The display supports something called the Active Reading Margin, which features apps like dictionary and word games. Of course, there's a flip side. You still need to hook it up for recharging, and page-flipping gestures provide cognitive, mechanical, and digital feedback to the person using the device. Here's an even more detailed rundown. The final design makes it possible for a margin to be flipped up to go to the next page or flipped down to go to the previous. The flipper's taper allows it to be read comfortably on a flat surface. And so long as we're getting technical, of particular importance is the diode bridge, which allows current to be generated regardless of which way the generator is turned. Using a color e-paper display and capacitive touchscreen, the interface supports stylus or finger interaction. It is designed with the challenge of updating the display as little as possible to conserve energy. So reading that's fun and fundamentally technologically sound. It's good to be flexible with your technology, and even more important to be flexible with your money. A lot of us use multiple credit cards at once, and each time one card expires, we throw it in the trash, where the plastic accumulates and our environment erodes. The same is true of all the receipts we collect after swiping away, which brings us to the one-card electronic card, which has one very simple concept: a credit card that's one for all and all for one. Not only does it eliminate trash, but it also resolves identity theft issues that arise with discarded, expired cards. On one end of the gadget is a memory card slot that will help the user upload their various credit card details. The other end has a turning knob that allows one to choose the appropriate credit card to be swiped. The display on the device reflects an identical copy of the credit card front, while the strip on the back mimics the credit card's magnetic strip. Once the transaction is completed, the receipt generated is displayed on the device, and the info gets stored on the memory card. So far, it's so good, right? Well, almost. The only block is the compatibility with various banks and the willingness of people to rely on a gadget for daily credit card transactions. Of course, we use online and virtual services quite a bit, but this is a totally different habit that could take some time getting used to. Still, imagine how much lighter your wallet's gonna feel. The most precious metal on Earth now empowers your most precious asset, your skin. Modern science has shown platinum to be not only one of the rarest elements on Earth, but one of the most astonishing in its abilities. It's impervious to time and incapable of being oxidized by air. The cream of the most advanced technology contains nano-sized particles of negatively charged platinum, suspended in colloidal platinum water, which acts as an excellent electron donor to help maintain the proper electrical balance in the skin. Can a ship stay on course without the proper support? The answer is, of course not. But how can it? We find out next on techMAX. Life at sea is full of adventure and a thrill a minute. It's also full of uncertainty, which is why having professional onboard expertise means that you're in safe hands, allowing you to focus on the task at hand. Let's get out there and see if we can learn a thing or two about safety at sea. Breathe in that fresh ocean breeze and take one last fleeting glance at land ashore, because today we are out at sea. But you know, things aren't always as rosy as they look on this observation deck. There's plenty of hard work going on in the manning of this ship, and it all starts with the control center. Let's go get ourselves acquainted.
你放你到后面就好了，咱你到后面。哎，你好，你好。 那师傅，这个是什么东西？它有些什么样的作用呢？
我们现在放的是那个16243档，是我们用它来就是做一些那个海底地形的探测，以及一些沉船的搜寻，还有以及那种比如说集装箱落水啊、钢材落水啊，就是一种水底那种目标的一个搜寻。
最主要的话是为了船的安全，是不是？
对的，有时候会为了一些航行的安全，可以把它放在边上，靠近岛礁的时候会在